Good morning, everyone, and happy Monday. Um, it's good to be here with all of you today. Cindy, it's lovely to see you here, my dear. Uh, Glad you could join me this morning, us this morning, I should say. Uh, just wanted to let you all know that Mother's upcoming online retreat still has spaces available. So if you're feeling the call to this particular retreat, it would be wonderful to have you with us. But also know that if the times and the exact dates don't work for you, everything's going to be recorded. And what I love so much about Mother's online offerings is that the energy she gives live is just as potent when you're watching the recording. So when you register for an online retreat or an online course, regardless of whether you're attending live or watching it later, she is the one that is creating the offering. So the energy is not necessarily dependent on you coming live. Um, it's really about Mother transcending technology, so to speak. And so it's great to be there live because everybody gets like what you all are doing right now. Those of you that are live, you are in the chat together and you're seeing each other, and that is wonderful. It can give you that sense that you are doing this in a group of like-hearted, like-minded people. But I have heard many, many times over the years that people who can't attend live and watch the recordings later, they still have that really powerful sense of being in community as they're experiencing Mother's offering. So, just something to keep in mind. There are still a few scholarships available, both partial and full. So if you would like to attend, but at this time finances are an issue for you, then just shoot us an email and let us know, and we'll communicate with you at support@belovedpublications.com. And yeah, so I am looking forward to seeing those of you who decide to attend the retreat. I'm looking forward to seeing you there at the end of this month. Hello, Judy. Good to see you, my dear. And Leslie Ann, Ravenheart, Angela, Carol, Bronislavs, and oh, yay, Cindy. So glad you're going to be joining us, my dear. That's awesome. Good to see you all here today. Thank you for joining us. And yeah. I wanted to tell you all, for those of you that are here, right here at the beginning, I just got a text maybe about 10 minutes ago about a power outage in our town, really close by my house, and it's supposed to be affecting my part of town, but it isn't yet. I still have power. So I'm hoping that the live stream won't go down, but I just wanted to let you all know. So maybe if it does go down, if I lose power, if some of you could just put in the chat what's happening for people who join later, if I'm making sense, I would really appreciate that. Because yeah, obviously this is all dependent on the electricity from my house. So all right, hang on just a minute. Oh, also I wanted to say, really apologize. One of our community members pointed out that the last meditation that Mother did, the spiritual tenets, principles, part one meditation, uh, there's a ticking clock noise in the background. And I have to tell you, I have had this clock right next to everything in my setup for like 15 years. And I don't know what, I didn't even know it ticked. I can't stand ticking clocks. None of the clocks in my house tick. I'd never even heard that tick before. I don't know if it's running out of life. I've had that thing for like 30 years. I love it, but I don't know why the microphone in the camera here picked it up for that meditation. So I apologize. I know it's so annoying. At least it's super annoying for me. I don't like that sound. Um, and I can't get it out of that meditation. So I do apologize. It's pretty faint, but if you've got earbuds in or headphones on, I imagine that it's a lot louder. So the clock is gone. Uh, I will not be including that in my setup anymore. And I hope that's the first time and the only time that's ever happened. I have no idea why, but yeah. So now we're doing today's live stream sans that clock. So if for any of you that picked up on that as well, I just wanted to let you know what happened, and I hope that, oh my gosh, I literally have had that in the exact same spot for over a decade, and it's just, I don't think it's ever been picked up on any of the audio before, but here we are. So thank you. As always, it's a live experience and anything can happen. So I appreciate all of your dedication to these live experiences. Because, yeah, technology sometimes goes wrong. And those of you that have been with me for a while have been here for a lot of it. So thank you, as always, for your patience and helping me by letting me know about these things, helping me improve how I offer things, online. So thank you. All right, here we go. Hmm. Hello, beloved ones. It is a joy to be here with you in this way. How wonderful that you have given yourself this moment in time to open and to receive and hopefully to accept the gift that I am offering on this day. So we have been discussing and discovering and sharing about spiritual tenets, spiritual principles that are the foundation, the very bedrock for a well-balanced life, a life that is open to fulfillment, that is more connected, that has at its heart love. All these principles nurture love because love is a big part of each and every one of these particular energies. Love is what brings them to life within you. It is what creates the momentum, the desire to align yourself with these principles. It is that which opens your mind to the possibility that if you align, if you explore, if you nurture these principles, that your life will feel better for you, happier, have more ease, a greater sense of support, a greater sense of communion with the life around you, both that which is in physical and spiritual form. So today I want to focus on the spiritual tenet of wisdom. Now, wisdom is sometimes one of those spiritual things that is relegated to only a certain type of person. It is often not something that people believe everyone has or everyone can attain. People who are wise are often held in a different light. They can be put or placed on a pedestal. They can be honored and revered in a certain way. But wisdom or wise ones seem to be rare in the collective mindset. But what if you were to shift your perspective just a little bit to recognize that wisdom is more common than you think? That wise ones come in every age, every gender, every sex, every race, every religion, every different aspect of life. Animal life, plant life, invertebrate life, sea life, the tides themselves, the roots of the trees, your own inner self contained such a vast array of wisdom. And I will tell you the one thing that stands between you and wisdom or recognizing yourself as a wise one. And that is your low self-worth. So today I'm going to just share with you some of the basic understandings of what wisdom is. If you look at it at its base form, it is simply knowledge plus experience. But there's a necessary ingredient with that that is often not recognized or understood. So just knowledge and experience can create a sort of lower form of wisdom. It can create a memory for you, a memory that may cause you to shy away from certain people or experiences. It may cause you to repress parts of yourself. So having that lower form of wisdom that is simply about memory does not serve you in the way that you need to be served as you are today. So that sort of missing ingredient that people don't associate with wisdom is love. And I know that many of you are saying, of course she would say that. That's Mother's answer to everything. And I would say, that's exactly right. It is my answer to everything. But let's explore this a little more deeply. So when you have an experience and it creates knowledge, or maybe you had the knowledge first and then you had the experience, doesn't really matter which order those two things come in. Then there is a consciousness that arises from that combination of knowledge and experience. And as I said, that consciousness creates a memory, a conscious memory that is sustained within your awareness. But without love, it creates the opportunity for fear to come into that equation, right? To sort of take over that equation. So people might say, well, I got wise to these kinds of experiences and I just don't do that anymore. And sometimes that can be a healthy thing, to abstain from certain experiences or connecting with people who you don't resonate so well with. But when fear is the driving force of creating that type of memory and that lower form of wisdom, it is always going to be limiting. It is often going to be black or white thinking. And that is really at the heart of the deeper emotional limitations that you can place on yourself throughout your life. But if love is the plus sign between experience and knowledge, now all of a sudden that raises the vibration. and brings a kind of emotional neutrality, so that regardless of the experience or regardless of the knowledge gained, whether it feels like a negative experience or a positive experience, a mixture of both, the wisdom that is created from that, it elevates you beyond those old limiting thoughts, those limiting mindsets. Love elevates your wisdom. It is the higher wisdom that you are capable of. Each person in a body is capable. When fear is the plus sign between knowledge and experience, the wisdom that is created tends to have a kind of certainty to it. That this is how it is, this is how it's always going to be, or this is how I am, this is how I'm always going to be, or this is how I've judged that person, and I've judged they're always going to be that way, right? There is a certainty, and that is extremely limiting. So while you are creating a certain level of wisdom, meaning that when knowledge and experience come together, regardless of the plus sign, fear or love, you are going to have a more comprehensive understanding of the situation, of yourself, the people involved, the nuances that are flowing through the experience. But you can allow fear to be the joining, that connecting point, and then you will stay in lower wisdom that has a lower vibration, that tends to be based on certainty and often leads to lifetime judgments, lifetime assumptions, lifetime opinions that, yes, end up harming others, but really end up harming yourself at the deeper levels. So from today forward, I'm going to encourage you, beloved ones, to start to observe when knowledge and experience come together. There's a certain kind of feeling that goes along with that joining. You all call it sometimes an aha moment, or a light bulb goes off over your head in a cartoon way. But there's that moment where the power of knowledge and experience come together. And you know what that feels like. It is a moment of clarity. It is a moment of revelation. It is a moment of expansion. And here's the best part. If those two things come together because of fear, if fear is the plus sign that joins the two, you can always go back and bring love as the connecting point. You can dissolve the fear that originally connected the knowledge and the experience. And you can replace that with love. Not by forcing fear out or rejecting fear, but just by sitting with the revelation and letting love into the heart of it, no matter how big or how small. And when you do that, you are consciously participating in creating a higher wisdom within yourself, mind, body, emotions, spirit. And the more you allow love to be that point of connection, to be the force that is providing momentum for experience and knowledge to come together, the more expanded your life will be. The more balanced your life will be, because your wisdom of self grows. Each one of you has had the experience of recognizing when you have just self-knowledge. You've learned something about yourself. And no matter how in depth your self-knowledge is, you've been unable to change something about yourself. Let's say you discover that you have codependency issues you didn't know you had. Okay, that's a big step to have that self-knowledge. But no matter how much knowledge you gain, you read books and you say, yes, that's me, that's what I do, or that's how I feel. You are gaining self-knowledge. But if you don't bring that knowledge into your experience with love, you are not going to change your codependency. It is love and welcoming the experience of your codependency, even if that makes you cringe or makes you very sad that it's within you, that it's a part of you. Love welcomes all the experience of codependency in your life and welcomes the self-knowledge that you are gaining about your codependency and invites the union of the two to work in harmony so that the knowledge can permeate the experience and the experience can permeate the knowledge to bring about the necessary internal energetic shift towards healing those thoughts, those codependent behaviors, those codependent reactions, the hurt that you gain from your codependency on a regular basis. It is when love brings that knowledge, that self-knowledge, or the knowledge of another, and your experiences with yourself or your experiences with that other, when love brings that together, the wisdom that is created illuminates a healthy path forward without limitations, but rather offering a structure that is malleable, that can change as you continue to evolve, as you continue to join knowledge and experience together in love, so that your structure no longer has the rigidity of limitation, but it's more of like having a hug, something to hold you but not restrict you, to support you but not repress you. You are already wise ones. And it is not because you have done something special or are something superior to others. You are equal in your ability to gain wisdom. So for these next few weeks, I'm going to encourage you to just observe when knowledge and experience come together. Do you notice if it's coming together through fear or love? And just observe the difference. And when you notice it's coming together through fear, and you may have gained some level of wisdom, but it has a kind of heaviness or a harshness to it. It has a feeling of black or white, good or bad. See if you cannot sit with that moment and breathe love, invite love into that conscious awareness, and release the fear that may have originally joined your experience and your knowledge to create wisdom. And invite love into that space. And notice how it changes. It might take a little bit of time because each one of you has your own habits, your internal habits, how you interpret certain things at different times, depending on how you're feeling or where you're at in your life, or simply what's happening in the moment. Accept this teaching deep within you. Accept that you are a wise one, just as you are right now. That doesn't mean that you are now required to go out and share your wisdom with others, to have people sit at your feet and let go of that image of a wise one. And trust that each human being has their own inner wisdom. And it is on a spectrum as to how that wisdom manifests within. How much fear is involved in the creation of that wisdom, and how much love. Generally, it can be a mix of both. But the more you invite love, into your wisdom, the creation of your wisdom within. The better your life will be. Trust your wisdom, beloved ones. And recognize that when those two things come together, even when it's with fear, but especially when it's with love, you can feel the synchronicity. So as we go through these weeks together, notice how all these spiritual tenets work together, how they weave together and support each other. They are not to be taken separately, but all together. Beautiful. And the next week we are going to do another meditation. So if you choose to come live, make sure that you are set up so that you can meditate. Know that I'm with you every moment, every breath, every heartbeat. My beloved ones, as we live this life together as one, know that I love you. Namaste. Never thought of that. Is a totally new perspective. I've never thought of or heard before. That's amazing. Oh goodness, I wonder who that person is that's in the chat. It's using nonsense words. Okay. Well, whoever you are, I hope that you find what you're looking for here. Thank you all so much for yeah, Leslie Ann, I know it's a little bit it affects some of us. Deborah, I'm glad you like my hibiscus. I have 2 bushes of them in my yard. Aren't they stunning? Love them so much. They're so beautiful and they're all blooming now. So I couldn't resist including one in the bunch. Great to see you all here. Brian, so glad to have you, my dear. Oh, well, I'm just glad you made it at all. That is wonderful. And Dayan, thank you for being here. Cher, always lovely to see you, my dear. And you are so welcome to all of you. Iggy, Angela, Bronislav, great to see you. I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I'll be back here same time next Monday, 10 a.m. Pacific U.S. time. So take care of yourself, and yeah, much love to you. Bye bye.